Aight, go crazy to this.
Join DIRadioCast.com for live DI coverage of the International CES 2014. Follow the hashtags DI coverage and CES 2014 on all social platforms.
That's the one I would build.
Aight, go crazy to this. Go crazy to this.
DIRadioCast.com, all in your ear hole is Africa Live. We're live at CES 2014. That's the International CES. And I'm here with Cheryl Lawson
Party Aficionado. It's Party Aficionado here.
Okay. Now tell us a little bit about what you're doing here and how you're using Goolge Glass to kind of document what you're doing.
Well, so as Party Aficionado, I blog about social and technology as it relates to event-related businesses. I also host my own social and digital conference in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So one of the ways I'm using the Goolge Glass here is to interview different innovators and companies who have products that other event organizers might be using for what they do. The other thing I'm doing is I have a client in the digital health space who will be here on Tuesday, and Wednesday, Thursday we'll be at the Digital Health Conference interviewing other pioneers in the digital health space. And I'm using Goolge Glass so that I don't have to then take out my camera or take out the phone and do the interview. I can actually look at somebody in their eye. Because I'm actually recording you while you're recording me.
Well, I'm sure yours looks better than mine, but you have the POV perspective, so your footage looks more authentic, real. You have that human touch. Tell us a little bit about how this differs from an actual point-and-shoot camera.
Well, I mean, I've only had glass for about a little over a month. I got it just before the holidays, and I will tell you that to me it almost feels like I can talk to you and you can see my facial expressions. And if I'm interviewing you, you're looking in my eyes and you can see my head nodding and those kind of things that people can relate to when they're being interviewed to make them feel more comfortable. Right? Instead of looking at the camera or wondering if the light's on or if their sound is great, you can just look at me and connect with whatever we're saying. And that's one thing I think is great about it.
What are the downsides? Because you said it like you wanted to preface. There's a downside.
The only downside I see right now is the connectivity, right? So being Google, you would expect these to just automatically upload to Google Plus and be ready to share, or automatically be able to send to YouTube. And that's just not the case, and I know why. It's because of battery life, right? You couldn't do all of that and still actually record video.
And so, what is the battery life?
I haven't run it out yet, but it's not
You
great.
will.
It's not great. So I do have a backup camera with me just in case, but I've run it pretty much all day from my flight this morning to right now, and I've still probably got about 50% battery life. So I'll get through tonight, and then I'll have to recharge for tomorrow.
Okay, so now we know all of this. We know what you're doing with the product. Where can we find the footage from this Goolge Glass?
Google.com/plus Cheryl Lawson.
So Google.com/plus
Cheryl Lawson. So
all
that's
right.
my Google Plus page, and that'll take you to my YouTube, and that's where all of
your stuff is going to be.
Yes.
All right, Cheryl Lawson, we're looking forward to seeing that. And again, this is Africa Allah here at the Unveil at CES with Cheryl Lawson, the party.
Aight, go crazy to this.
Join DIRadioCast.com for live DI coverage of the International CES 2014. Follow the hashtags DI coverage and CES 2014 on all social platforms.
That's the one I would build.
Aight, go crazy to this. Go crazy to this.